Huh. The feeling of garam garam chai. That's my new favorite beverage.
Hi, I'm Mahima and I've been vegan for over 6 years now. And in all these years, every time I tell someone I'm vegan, the very first question is, what do you even do about your milk? And I get it. It is a starting ingredient for so many other ingredients like paneer, like curd, like buttermilk. It's also used in so many other recipes like tea, coffee, kheers, dals, and the list goes on. So, of course, I've not lived without milk all these years. I just chose to go dairy free and use alternatives. It's actually very easy in today's day and age to find brands in the market or even make these at home. So, in this video, I'm gonna give you an exact guide of which milk works where, which one will suit your taste, and the price points, the pros and cons, and the taste tests. So, here we go.
Hello, good morning. It is a new day and I still am in my morning phase. I have to get ready for the day, but I want to quickly come show you something which I do almost every single morning, and it also happens to be the theme of today: almond milk. Now, okay, this isn't almond milk, these are just almonds, but for someone who's now been vegan for 6+ years like me, it just makes sense to make almond milk at home. You, of course, are if just testing it out or don't eat it as frequently, feel free to bring in the store-bought stuff. It is amazing as well. But I mean, for me who uses it on a daily, it is such a simple process. It's literally nothing. Just soaking almonds at night, peeling off the skins. You can even keep the skins if you wish to, and blending it up in the morning. I hope I didn't drop it in trying to show this to you. Can you see the milk in there? Yeah. I just blend this up in the morning and then it's good to go. You could just make it fresh every morning. You could milk your almonds fresh every morning. So I am very excited to show you how today goes. Let's get going.
Now, because almond milk is so easy to make, I end up using it for most of my morning beverages, be it hot cocoa or coffee, or as you see here, chai. One more use of almond milk is in vegan Indian desserts, which I make at home, because almond milk has this naturally nutty flavor which goes so well. Like, we're so accustomed to the very badam like flavor in our desserts, so this matches perfectly.
Cheers! That is my almond milk tea. Huh. The feeling of garam garam chai. Oh my god, especially during like monsoon winters. So good. Anyways, ease of accessibility and ease of making makes me go for this milk so very often, and I genuinely enjoy the taste. I also feel that because it has that nutty taste, it goes so well with most Indian recipes, Indian desserts, beverages. Almond milk has such a subtle flavor to itself and it doesn't overpower whatever flavored beverage that you want to have. So I end up making this all the time, and I highly recommend you do so too. I'm gonna complete this, have my breakfast, get started with work. I hope I have a good day, a good productive day. I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next day, next milk theme day. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to a new day. By the way, I've just come back from the gym, so I'm still in my gym gear. Can you see? Oh, maybe you can see in the mirror. And it's one of my favorite days. It is oat milk day. So we have with us some oat milk, which we're going to use throughout the day in different recipes. And by the way, the fun fact is almost all vegan milks, they don't allow them to call it milk. So you gotta call it like oat drink or some of the other like MYLK. But anyways, that is just another issue of the plant-based milk industry. But this definitely is one of my absolute favorite milks to have a lot of beverages with and also end up using in a lot of recipes. So let's get going. Matcha with oat milk is like a match made in heaven. Now, I'm a matcha fan, but I genuinely think that a lot of the hype that matcha gets online is actually because of the taste of the oat milk. It tastes really nice. You should taste it to believe it. And because it tastes so close to actual dairy milk, I end up using it just plain in a lot of cereals also, because it just tastes very close to what cereal used to taste like when I used to have dairy. So this mimics it perfectly, and I feel for a beginner, oat milk is the safest place to start. That's my new favorite beverage. So I've heard from my friends who are either like baristas or they run cafes, basically they know what they're talking about when it comes to beverages. They have mentioned that oat milk happens to be the most beverage friendly milk because it helps in foaming, it helps in giving that creamy texture which a lot of people crave, especially in their cappuccinos or just any cold beverage as well, where you need that little foam layer on top, where you also need a rich velvety smooth texture. So oat is the friendliest to work with, and I've also seen in my non-vegan friends that oat is somewhat close to giving them that mouth feel of dairy milk, so they usually prefer oat milk. Most of my non-vegan friends, when we're ordering together and they order a vegan beverage themselves, go for oat milk because it does mimic to a very large extent the texture and the flavor of your regular dairy milk.
Welcome to a new day. Today we are going to use coconut milk. But before you get scared of that coconutty flavor, coconut milk is actually not that great in like teas and coffees because it gives that distinct coconut taste. But it is so good to make things creamy. It could be in your curries, soups. It could even act as a great dessert substitute for things like heavy cream. So let's get going. You will be surprised how well this goes with so many recipes. I love adding it to honestly any of my soups or curries to just make it richer. And I also used coconut milk, actually like a thicker version of coconut milk, as a substitute for cream to make like a burnt vegan cheesecake. It was so good. It again gives this really rich, creamy flavor. So coconut milk in desserts is always a win-win situation. Now that's the dal and roti. This honestly makes the experience so much better. It becomes so much more creamier. Curries are such a staple in so many cuisines actually. Thai cuisine, South Indian cuisine, they use coconut milk so much for their curries. I too added it to my red lentil curry or masoor dal curry to give it a decadent, creamy undertone and texture and flavor. You can already taste the coconut, but it makes it like super dense, rich, and just overall really luxurious feeling. So it's amazing. Hello, welcome to a new day. Today, instead of like a carton of milk, I actually have like the whole soya bean because I do end up making a lot of soybean milk at home. It is super easy to make, and I also ferment soybean yogurt at home because here's the thing, right? It does taste a little bean, like because of the soya bean, it has that little distinct flavor, so it doesn't necessarily go well with your regular chai or coffee because some people can taste it, but it tastes amazing in stuff where the flavor is masked. Say a smoothie or even in yogurt, like the flavor is masked. So I love keeping this handy for my everyday usage because there is such a great advantage of like protein boost. So say for example, I just have a bowl of veggie rice. I'm gonna scoop out a few dollops of my soybean yogurt which I ferment at home, and it just becomes high protein. So yeah, very excited to show you what I do with soy milk. I highly recommend using this, especially if your goal is to have high protein meals. Let's go. Like I said, one of my most common uses of soy milk is to make soy yogurt. So this time I made a raita with soy yogurt by adding in some baked cherry tomatoes, a bunch of spices, some coriander, and made it a nice tomatoey, tangy raita. And I also use soy yogurt in the evening to make a nice high protein yogurt bowl, and I had that with some fruit on the side. Having yogurt is just, I feel, such an important part of an Indian diet. And I feel like we use yogurt in everything. It's a part of so many recipes. It is as a raita on the side of a plate. It is sometimes as such just yogurt bowls, and we end up making like kadhi, chas, so much out of yogurt, like buttermilk. And when I first went vegan, I was so confused as to how do I substitute such a big part of my life. And even though there are those store-bought packages, there was just something in me because I think growing up, I don't know if this happens in your family, but we ferment yogurt at home. So it felt like something is missing, and I think soy yogurt has really solved that for me. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend you start fermenting your own yogurt at home with like plant milk. I think for starters, buy just one pack of soy yogurt and then keep fermenting with a spoonful like you usually do at home with soy yogurt. I think it is life changing, and it also makes having yogurt nutritionally very good for you because you're always adding in extra protein. So, love this. I'm going to enjoy this and see you in the next one. Welcome to a new day. Today is millet milk, and I just want to say millets are having such a moment right now. Millets are replacing the traditional rotis, they are replacing pizza bases, cookies, and whatnot, and now they've replaced the dairy milk. The thing about millet milk is what I specifically like. Sometimes, when dishes which are to be had as a proper meal like lunch or dinner, what happens is using stuff like almond milk or coconut milk gets too much because the quantity is a lot, and ultimately the milk has a nut in it which has a higher fat quantity. So I feel like when the quantity is more, might as well resort to a milk which has a better nutritional profile. So sure, oat milk does a good job, and sure, soya milk does a good job, it gives protein, but nothing matches millet milk for proper meals like lunches and dinners, because at the end of the day, like that's what we have, right? Like we have grains during our meals. So this is my go-to, and God bless millet milk manufacturers. It tastes so close to the actual real thing. The only downside so far is that I haven't learned how to make it at home. I can almost make all the other milks at home, but not this. But I'll soon learn it. Till then, let's make the recipes. The expectation out of any meal of the day is keep you full for a few hours at least. And that's where I feel millet milk does such a good job. And hence, the stuff which I go for, say, adding milk to soups for creaminess, adding it to sauces for pastas, or even different just sabzis or curries, or even sometimes in doughs, I feel millet milk works so well because we have millets and grains for lunch and dinner, so it has the exact same nutritional profile. It has that kind of fiber, and it tastes really good too. So there's literally nothing I can complain about. And in general, I feel about any sort of milk replacement, every different milk has a different kind of usage or requirements. So at any point in time, our fridge will at least have a couple of milk options. Even if you're not entirely vegan, or if you're just trying to be more plant-based, I think it works really well if you can replace some parts of some things with some plant milk. Like I have a lot of friends who very specifically like oat milk with their beverages. So sure, they have their cheese and their paneer, but they really like the taste of oat milk better than dairy milk. So I think it's a very trial and error process. The more you do, the better it is for the planet, for your body, and small steps. I think small steps is the way to go. Anyways, that was it for my 5 days, 5 milk series. Let me know what other stuff would you like to see in the comments below. And I hope you're watching the shorts. I hope you're liking the recipes. And we have a WhatsApp group, a community, which I'd love for you to join. And I am gonna put the QR code on the screen right now. So join it, and hope you enjoy your plant-based journey. See you very soon.